Hey guys, welcome back to Patrick's Basics, and today we're doing a utensil review.
So this utensil review was recommended to us on Discord by LoafNet. Okay, so for the utensils we have a fork, a knife, a spoon, this weird spoon with holes in it. We got chopsticks, we got tongs, we got a big long serrated knife, and we got a knife sharpener. So we got this big giant spoon. I don't really know what that's for. We got this little stabby thing. We got this weird plastic spork kind of thing. And then we got a bottle opener. Okay, so we're going to do some different tests. And the first one is what is best for eating a waffle. Okay, so we're going to start off with this big spoon thing. So we got to cut this waffle and try to pick this thing up somehow.
Okay, this is not working well. Okay, so this big spoon cannot pick up a waffle. Well,
Okay,
can cut it fine-ish, but cannot work well.
Yeah, it actually kind of cuts the waffle well. So.
Yes.
Okay, now we're gonna try chopsticks on the waffle. So at least we have this little piece already cut up, which I am terrible with chopsticks. Now let's just try to cut off a piece.
Okay, this is actually not that bad, but these are really fluffy waffles.
Yeah, these aren't very good for cutting up chop stuff. So now we're gonna try this weird plastic spork. So first let's try to cut a piece off with this thing.
Not working too well.
This is worse than the
wide
chopsticks.
spoon too. You can barely grab it. But
The
it's
wide
for
spoon.
babies. I mean, it's for babies. It doesn't even help babies. It just makes it
Okay,
way
well,
worse.
there's what happened with that thing. So, now we're going to try this spoon with holes in it. So let's just try to cut a small piece off the side here. So it works better than the other things we've tested.
Okay, way easier to grab something.
It feels weird when you're eating it because your teeth like get in that. It's so strange.
It's probably not meant for eating. It's meant for serving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tongs. Which for cutting, these things are very weird. They actually work kind of well.
Yeah, you have to make Thomas turn
And they're
it into a
super
ball.
easy to pick up stuff. This is probably the best thing for picking up things. Oh, it feels so weird.
Yeah, your teeth grab on those notches.
So yeah, that's the tongs. Now we got this little stabby thing. So pretty much this is kind of nice for stabbing.
It's for corn, I'm pretty sure.
Now we have to
tell
somehow.
that 'cause
Now
the
we have
handle's
to. Yeah, the
cool.
handle is like this corn. It's kind of cool. But it's so weird to cut things up.
Okay, so
Dog, I can't cut anything.
cutting is very bad.
Hey, it picks stuff up easily.
Very.
You have to be really careful with
Not
using this in your
stabbing.
mouth to not stab your mouth. So, it's this weird little stabby thing. Got the bottle opener. Yay!
We're
Everyone's
gonna
favorite.
cut a waffle with a bottle opener.
Okay, well.
That worked. That actually.
Oh, that was
Right.
so weird. Now we have to somehow eat this here. I'm gonna cut a smaller piece off.
There we go.
Well, luckily you can stab it with that side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was weird. Now we got this huge knife. See, I know this is good for cutting meat like Patrick, but for cutting waffles, this is gonna be probably will work well. I'm gonna use this fork to hold it in place. Just
There we go.
it
that
cuts
worked
very
nice.
well because I mean it's a big knife. What do you expect? But eating with it,
Okay, it doesn't have a sharp point, but we were still able to get it on. Okay, you gotta be really careful not to get this.
Yeah, careful not to cut your tongue.
Yeah, alright.
Now we have the knife sharpener, everyone's favorite. This is gonna be so useless. I have no idea what we're gonna do. Okay, well, hey, we can pick up the whole waffle in one. I mean, that's a start. But we need to cut it somehow, so.
Okay, pretty much there's no cutting power.
Yeah, it doesn't really cut things at
And you
all.
can barely stab a small piece. Oh, and this is not working. Is this gonna be called a fail? Is this a fail?
No, I am going to do it. This
It
is.
will not work.
It's like useless for eating things. I have no idea why they'd make such a thing. I quit.
We have a failed item.
That's the knife sharpener. Now we have the basics. We got the normal knife.
Butter knife.
So I'm gonna hold it with the fork again because I mean, you can't really cut without the fork very well. So, as you can see, cuts through very well. Eating is not really its specialty.
But it'll still stab.
But it'll still stab it. So not bad for the knife.
Yes.
There are other things we tested which are way worse, so good for the knife. Now for the fork. Cutting, not that hard. I mean, technically this waffle is completely destroyed, but the cutting is still very easy, pretty easy. And eating,
of course, it's a fork.
Eating the waffle, it's probably the best, yeah, for just stabbing it and eating it. So,
yes.
Fork, good.
Nice.
Now spoon. So it cuts it pretty well. It cuts it pretty well, but like it's kind of weird because it's a spoon, and the sides aren't really that sharp, as you can see. It can pick stuff up pretty well. So that's the spoon. And that should be the end of the test with the waffle. And this is what our waffle has turned into after all this. So, for the sandwich, it's made of meat, cheese, and mustard. And so we're going to see how well the tools can cut and eat this. I know you usually eat a sandwich with your hands, but we're going to eat it with the utensils because it's a utensil review. So, bam. Okay, so we're going to try this spork thingy. It doesn't really cut the sandwich all that well. This is gonna be messy. But it can stab it all right. But it's not that good overall, the spork for the sandwich. Or if you would even call this a spork. So, now we have the tongs. Let's just try to cut out a chunk of here. They cut all right. But they're like weirdly shaped that they're not great for. And then they grab stuff well, like I said last. But these are weird, but they're actually kind of good, so yeah. Now for the bottle opener. This is gonna be really weird, but let's try it. First, let's cut this piece off. Okay, that wasn't actually that hard, except it's covered in some mustard now. So now, stab it with that stabby part. So we got this. But like some of the others, you want to be careful with this because it's a sharp point and you don't want to stab that on your mouth. Now for the chopsticks. First, let's somehow try to cut this. This is just like the waffle. It's just making a mess. And I don't even really know how to use chopsticks. Oh my goodness, there's stuff on the floor. Okay, well, here's a piece that I just slid back on. Let's try to eat it without it falling off. See, as you can see, I'm very bad with chopsticks. I can barely pick up a piece of meat. Well, yeah, so if you're good with chopsticks, this might be okay, but you're going to want something else to cut the sandwich, if you even want to eat a sandwich with chopsticks. So we got the little stabby thing, because it's great. Let's try to cut this. Yeah. Let's just try to cut this somehow. Okay, we cut it, so now let's pick it up. Pretty good for just stabbing little objects and eating them. But it's not really good for cutting things at all. Because it's so tiny. Like, look at this. Barely can get that off. Next up, we have the knife. And so this will probably be good for cutting. Let me hold it in place with a fork. Okay, and then you stab the food, I guess. Of course, the knife is good for cutting. It's not really good for just stabbing it and eating it. But it works. It works well. We have the fork, which is already a little messy because of stabbing this. But it doesn't really cut the sandwich all that well, not like the waffle. But it's great for just eating it like this. Now we got the normal spoon. So, we can cut this somehow. It doesn't really cut very well with the spoon. The waffle cut way better than this. So, scoop it up. The spoon is pretty good, but I mean, it's not really that good for eating a sandwich because it's a spoon and it doesn't really cut. Okay, yeah, a big chungus spoon. So this guy, he cut the waffle really well, and he cut the sandwich okay, but as you can see, he kind of slid the top off. Now if we can pick this up, it's really hard to eat things off this because of how big it is, but yeah. Next up we have the spoon with holes in it. This is going to be weird for the last test, and you'll see why, but here, hopefully we can cut a little bit off without destroying the thing. It's already pretty destroyed. You can put it on the thing, and if you had small bits, they'd just fall through like those, but these big ones, they'll stay on. So like if these get in the middle, let me see. If I get this in the middle, it could fall through like holes, so anything with liquids like soup is going to be terrible with this. But the sandwich, it's okay. Because it can kind of cut it, and kind of eat it, but I wouldn't recommend it. So now we have the knife sharpener. And so this was very interesting on the waffle, but now we have the sandwich. So I don't know how this is going to work. Let's just try to cut it. Oh my goodness, we got a piece of cheese. Let's go. Now if we can just pick it up. Oh my goodness, we got the piece of cheese. Piece of ham fell on the table. We can get that piece of ham off. So we finally got the piece of ham up. Or actually, I think it's turkey. But yeah. This is really weird for eating with. I do not recommend it. I guess it should just stick to knife sharpening. And now last we have the giant knife. And yeah, I don't really know why. But let's just get this fork, bam, and cut a piece off. So this thing cuts incredibly. I would recommend it for meat because that's just kind of what it's gonna work best on. So now let's try to somehow eat with it. Let me cut this one more time, actually. Very nice. Now let's somehow try to pick this up. Well, that was weird. Let's try with this piece. As you can see, we lost half the piece. That's this giant serrated knife. And that is it with the sandwich. Now, we're going to move on to the cereal. Okay, so here we have the cereal. We're going to go ahead and start off with the little stabby thing. So let's try to get a little Cheerio. Oh, having some trouble. Here, we got a little Cheerio. Now I can eat it. Now, luckily these have holes in them so you can stab right through it and eat it one by one. So this isn't bad if you want to eat Cheerios one by one. Now we have this really big spoon. We could get so many Cheerios. I'm not going to be able to fit that in my mouth. Let's just get a bit. So this works pretty well except for the fact that it's so big. You have to like open your mouth so wide just to get stuff in. So that was this big spoon thing. Now we have a little plastic spork, and this is going to be weird. I can't really get any milk because it just falls through. I have like a bubble of milk. So these you can eat the Cheerios, but you can't get the milk. So you have to drink the milk afterwards. So that's pretty weird. And so now we move on to the spoon with holes in it. This is this big failure. This is just going to be a failure because look. You pick it up and all the milk just goes right out. I can't even fit them in the Cheerios. Like some of the Cheerios even fall out when you're doing that. It's pretty weird. Annoying. But yeah, that's the spoon with holes in it. Here we go with the spoon, which probably will be the best. No offense to you fork fans out there, but cereal. As you can see, I can get a lot of cereal, milk. It's just good. now we have the tongs. Like some of the others, this doesn't really get much milk, but you can pick up Cheerios pretty nicely. I'd say the biggest problem with these is just trying to get this stuff in your mouth. Like, watch. It's so weird. So this can pick up the Cheerios pretty nicely. It doesn't really pick up much milk, but it is so hard to put the stuff in your mouth. And so next up we have the chopsticks, which I'm very terrible at using, but I'll try. Actually, I might be able to go through a piece. Yeah, I can just go right through a piece. So that's kind of nice, but you have to kind of do some work to get it in. It doesn't get any milk. Wow, I got 3 somehow. So that's weird. See, if you want to eat it one by one, see, chopsticks are good. And maybe if you're good with chopsticks, you could like eat it correctly. But I'm very bad with chopsticks. Let's try 2 at a time. Oh boy. This is not working well. Oh, 2 at a time. Yay. Well, now we're on to the giant serrated knife. So, let's try this out. Just don't like hurt yourself with this because this is dangerous because of the serrated edge. I think I just scraped my tooth on it. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, this isn't very good because you can't really get any milk. I think the only one so far that's able to get milk is the big spoon. I got a little bit of milk. The tongs, I got a little bit of milk. And the spoon, I got a good amount of milk, so. Now for the knife, there's nothing really to cut here except milk. So, just have to eat it. Just take it up and eat it. So the knife isn't actually that bad for just scooping up Cheerios, but it gets no milk. So now we have a bottle opener. I don't really know what to say about this. It's a bottle opener eating cereal. So I'm going to try first is just stabbing them. See if I can get anything. I'm going to try to stab this one on the side. This one on the side here, I'll bring it over. Let's try this one right up here. Okay, just stab right through it. Boom. Let me try this side. It's more like a spoon. I actually got a slight bit of milk. You get like the slightest bit of milk. It's weird. And you get cereal, so that's nice. Pick up a little bit of the Cheerios. Yeah, so that's the bottle opener. Very weird. Now, fork fans, your time has come. We have the fork. This, you can stab the cereal. You can pick it up actually pretty well. Except you don't get milk, so yeah. So, fork actually works kind of well, but you don't get milk. Let's just try to get a little bit of milk. Just a little bit on there. If I could get it in this like back part, I could get some milk. Nah. Yeah, that's the fork. Now we have the knife sharpener. Yeah, okay, let's just try this. It hasn't really worked that well for the others. See if I can get a piece of cereal. Yeah. Yeah. Just like just wait 10 minutes. I'll get this in 10 minutes. Come back in 10 minutes. Oh, we got something. Yes, a single piece of cereal. Let's go, finally. Oh my goodness, can we get two? It's balancing. Oh my goodness, we got two. That is the knife sharpener. Probably the best for eating cereal, to be honest. Very good for eating cereal. So I'd say the best utensil all around for eating things is gonna have to be between the fork, the spoon, and the tongs.
Okay, those make a lot of sense.
But the winner, obviously. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'd say the grand winner, is gonna have to be the fork. The fork is gonna have to be your winner. It was just the best overall, and just worked pretty well for everything. Yeah. Didn't really get milk in the cereal, but it still works pretty well for things. But congratulations for the tongs for making it on the list. Maybe we should start eating with tongs.
Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment on this video if you subscribed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.